This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The Foreign Minister stresses enhanced global vaccine collaboration. The Army Commander requests the public to obtain the vaccine without listening to false propaganda. Specialist doctors point out that children are at a risk due to COVID. The COVID vaccination program will be held at the Sugadadasa Stadium tomorrow. News from overseas. Infections surge as Japan enters holiday period. Addressing the first international forum on COVID-19 vaccine cooperation held virtually recently, Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena called for enhanced global efforts to forge closer cooperation between countries to enable the availability and affordability of COVID-19 vaccines to everyone in line with SDG 3 target to ensure success to safety, effective, quality and affordable essential medicines and vaccines for all. While highlighting the Sri Lankan government's success in vaccinating more than 90% of its population over the age of 30 with the first dose of the vaccine, Minister Gunawardena underlined that there are still significant inequalities in vaccination programs across the world that need to be remedied to successfully defeat the COVID-19 pandemic. Towards this end, Mr. Gunawardena thanked both bilateral and international partners, particularly China, for the timely supply of over 10 million vaccine doses, including the gift of 2.7 million Sinopharm vaccines to Sri Lanka's vaccination campaign. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva has emphasized that the risk of life due to the coronavirus could be prevented by obtaining vaccines without listening to false propaganda. He stated that it is essential to adhere to health guidelines. He also pointed out that wearing of face masks is very essential. The COVID virus is fast spreading in the country, therefore all people should follow the health guidelines at this juncture. The government is implementing the vaccination program speedily. He said 75% of the people have been vaccinated. The government, including the President and the Prime Minister, is taking utmost measures to accelerate the vaccination program in the country. Specialist doctors for children emphasized that the number of COVID-infected children is increasing. Therefore, elders should pay more attention to the safety of their children. Specialist Dr. Deepal Pereira said that about 150 COVID-infected children are receiving treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital. He requested parents that if any show of the COVID symptom occurs, the children should be taken to the nearest hospital. Breastfeeding is essential for children under 6 months, especially those who are infected with the virus. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
We continue with local news. The vaccination program at the Sugadadasa Stadium for the people who have not been vaccinated a single dose will be held tomorrow. Police spokesman SDIG Ajit Rohana requested the public to get the vaccines at the first possible opportunity without considering various other vaccines. The Ministry of Health says that a total of 2,487 more COVID-19 patients have been discharged from hospitals and treatment centres as they have recovered from the virus infection. This brings the total number of recoveries reported in the country to 290,794. Sri Lanka has confirmed as many as 223 cases of COVID-19 to date. According to the epidemiology unit's data, more than 28,000 virus-infected patients are currently under medical care. Meanwhile, the death toll now stands at 4,919. Meanwhile, more than 13 million people have been vaccinated. The number of people who have received the first dose of the vaccine exceeds 10.8 million. More than 2.7 million individuals were vaccinated with the doses. The government says around 17.8 million vaccines have been received. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
The largest bonus declared in the history of the Sri Lankan insurance industry. Sri Lanka Insurance Grand Bonus, an unmatchable bonus of 8.6 billion rupees only for Sri Lanka Insurance life policy holders from the nation's largest insurer. Call 0112 357 357 for more details. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to our main news story, the government has urged the members of the public to not go out unnecessarily as the Delta variant of SARS-CoV-2 is spreading at an alarming speed. In a notice, the Department of Government Information stated that approximately 1.5% of virus infected end in death. Every individual is at a risk of contracting the virus, the department stressed, appealing to the public to get themselves vaccinated against COVID-19 without delay. Further, the government called for strict adherence to health guidelines in order to mitigate the spread of the infection. The public is advised to not attend wedding ceremonies, funerals, or any other events where large numbers of people gather. The government also reminded the public to make sure to wear face masks at public places, to wash hands properly from time to time, and to maintain a 2-meter distance with others. Meanwhile, reports revealed that leading private hospitals have also exceeded their capacity as COVID-19 infections in the country continued to soar. The administrations of several private hospitals have announced that they are forced to halt admissions of patients amidst the aggravating situation. In the backdrop, Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath stressed that the spread of Delta COVID-19 variant is expected to accelerate in the coming days. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight. Specialist doctor of the Family Health Bureau, Sanjeeva Godakanda, says that all pregnant mothers who pass the first 3 months of pregnancy should obtain the vaccine. The vaccine is needed to prevent severe complications from the virus. He made these remarks at a news briefing held at the Colombo Health Promotion Bureau yesterday. During the past few weeks, the reporting of COVID-infected pregnant mothers have increased. Therefore, the vaccination is the best measure to prevent oneself from contracting the virus. He also requested pregnant mothers to refrain from unnecessary travelling. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow. First, the headlines. Infections surge as Japan enters holiday period. Bangladesh gifts emergency COVID medicines to Indonesia. Apple criticized for system that detects child abuse. In Japan, coronavirus infections have been surging across the country. The number of the new cases exceeded 15,700 today. It was a new record for the 4th straight day. The capital, Tokyo, reported its second highest daily case count. The metropolitan government confirmed 4,566 new infections. It was the 4th day in a row that the figures had surpassed 4,000. Officials say 150 people are seriously ill. Experts are expressing a sense of urgency and crisis. Officials are calling on people to refrain from travelling across prefectural borders. This comes right at the start of the annual Bon holiday period when people return to their hometowns. Bangladesh has gifted emergency COVID medicines to Indonesia, which has become Asia's new coronavirus epicenter, reporting more than 3.57 million cases and more than 102,000 deaths as of yesterday. On behalf of the government of Bangladesh, Air Vice Marshal Mohammad Mostafiza Rahman, Bangladesh ambassador to Indonesia, today formally handed over the COVID medicine to Dr. Vendra Waborandru, Director of Public Medicines and Health Supplies Management, Minister of Health Affairs, Indonesia. This is a symbol of goodwill gesture for the people of Indonesia, a friendly country of Bangladesh, the ambassador told this correspondent. Apple is facing criticism over a new system that finds child sexual abuse materials, CSAM, on US users' devices. The technology will search for matches of known CSAM before the image is stored onto iCloud phones. But there are concerns that the technology could be expanded and used by authoritarian governments to spy on its own citizens. WhatsApp head Will Cathcart called Apple's move very concerning. Apple said the new version of iOS and iPad's OS, due to the release later this year, will have a new application of cryptography to help limit the spread of CSAM online while designing for users' privacy. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines again. Infections surge as Japan enters holiday period. Bangladesh gifts emergency COVID medicines to Indonesia. Apple criticized for system that detects child abuse. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Win lakhs and lakhs with CIB Janajaya. 40% discount for your bills till 15th of August. 6 hand tractors at the Grand Row. CIB Janajaya.
On to development news. 42 regional road development projects will be implemented at a cost of 50 million rupees. These projects will be initiated in Ratkama, Balapitiya, Bentara and the Galle Divisional Secretariat divisions. The Road Development Authority has implemented these projects in order to develop transport activities in rural areas. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Win lakhs and lakhs with CIB Janajaya. 40% discount for your bills till 15th of August. 6 hand tractors at the Grand Row. CIB Janajaya.
On to sports news. Neeraj Chopra has won historical gold medal in the men's javelin throw at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. And with this, the 23-year-old has become the first Indian athlete to win a gold medal in the track and field events. Chopra finished on the top spot in the qualifications round with a stunning throw of 86.65 meters. In the finals, he continued his stellar performance and became the first ever Indian athlete to win a gold medal in athletics at the Olympics. A staggering throw of 87.58 meters in the second attempt was far better than the other 11 athletes, which earned Chopra the historical gold medal for India. Czechoslovakia's Republic's Jakub Vadlicek won silver. with 86.68 meters, and Vyacheslav Vesely claimed the bronze with an 85.44 meter throw. Neeraj Chopra's closest competitor, world number 1 javelin thrower, Johan Jevet, was out of the competition after 3 attempts. With this gold, the number of medals won by India in Tokyo is now 7. 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. Prime Minister Modi, in a tweet, congratulated Neeraj. That was a look at sports news. Next is business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
State Minister Shehan Semasinghe says that the Saubhagya Production Village program is being carried out successfully. He said that these expect to be established 500 such more villages by the end of this year. It will be increased to 1,000 villages. The Moringa Production Village was started in the Kakirava area today. It is the 16th village which has commenced in the Anuradhapura district. Well, that was business news. Economic news follows.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The central bank has issued treasury bills worth over 30 billion rupees. The auction in this regard will be held on the 11th of this month. These treasury bills will be issued and will expire in 91, 182 and 364 days. Biddings will be called from primary dealers of government securities. That was economic news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamuwa and Western Province and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Several spells of showers will occur in the Northwestern Province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the Uva Province and in the Ampara, Mullaitivu and Batticaloa districts during the evening or at night. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Foreign Minister stresses enhanced global vaccination collaboration. The Army Commander requests the public to obtain the vaccines without listening to false propaganda. Specialist doctors point out that children are at a risk due to COVID. The COVID vaccination program will be held at the Sugadadasa Stadium. And news from overseas, infections surge as Japan enters holiday period. Well, that ends tonight's news broadcast.